Hey, this is Sabin Gauge.
What is going on, nerds, and welcome to today's episode of What's Up Wrestler, a podcast by nerds of wrestling. My guest at this very time is Sabin Gauge. Sabin, what is going on, bro? How you doing today?
I'm doing really good right now, bro. How about you?
I'm doing very well. Sorry for those technical difficulties before. We got everything figured out now. We're all good. Yeah, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Oh, no problem, bro. No problem. I actually was just free today, so that's why I was like, you know what? I got this day.
I asked you yesterday. I was like, "Hey, do you want to do it?" I was like, "You're like, fuck it, let's do it." I was like, "All right, let's go." Uh, Before we find out a little more about Sabin Gauge, drop those plugs, bro. Where can the nerds find you?
You guys can find me at Sabin Gauge on Twitter and at Sabin_Gauge on Instagram.
What happened? Someone took your name on Instagram, so you had to take the underscore.
No, so I was just so when I was trying to do it on Instagram, I just accidentally pressed underscore and it just don't ask me how I did it, but I did that. I don't yeah. I'm
I was
bad.
like, saying, "Oh, that sucks, bro. Someone must have taken it. Like shit. Like that. That's the worst."
No one ever takes it. Like nobody ever took it. It was just me just accidentally pressing underscore for some reason.
You're like, oh well, that's it for now until I get not lazy just to change it, right?
Exactly. I was gonna switch it soon, but then I just kept on like forgetting about it, and I'm just like, oh
Oh
well.
well, it's not going anywhere. Changing your username on Instagram is like the easiest thing ever. Like it's a piece of cake. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just way too lazy to do it for some reason.
We're living in a crazy time right now, and with this whole COVID mess, I feel like it's gradually, slowly ending. That's my opinion. How are you doing during this time?
I'm actually doing pretty well. I was working constantly during it, basically throughout the whole COVID time, and right now since it's loosening up a little, I'm getting more bookings outside of like in wrestling. Right now, this is my first interview, so I'm pretty excited about this. And yeah,
That's awesome, bro. Well, I'm very happy I'm able to be your first interview. What's Up Wrestler is home to a lot of people for their first interviews, and that's what we're all about here. Just trying to get people, trying to get their names out there and everything. There's so much wrestling out there in the world right now. As we're recording this, Fastlane was on Sunday, March whatever it was, 21st, I think, if I'm
yeah.
not mistaken. What I don't know if you watched it or didn't watch it. What were your thoughts on it?
I actually didn't watch it because I was working all day yesterday. Well, basically all night. Um, and when I got home, basically it had already finished. But I did see clips, like a little clips of it, like when Drew basically just hit that Claymore on Sheamus and
Yep.
he just laid it in. He just did not care whatsoever for Sheamus' well-being. Laid that shit in, bro.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre is quite the character. He's quite over right now in WWE. A lot of people seem to be extremely on board with Drew McIntyre. Are you a fan of Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I've been a fan of his since he basically came into WWE, like in 2000, I think 8. Um, Basically just the way he looked, his presence, even though he was a heel and I was like what around that time, like 9-ish around there.
Oh my
Um
God, you're a
yeah,
baby, bro. Wait, how
yeah, I
old are
was a
you?
baby back then. I just like the theme song, bro. That theme song was just a banger. I want him to bring it back, but it just wouldn't fit the character at the moment, so I'm letting it slide for now.
How old are you, bro?
Right now I am 22.
Oh my God, yeah, okay, yeah, you're not that much younger than I am. I'm 26.
Oh,
Geez, you said 9. I'm like, oh my God, like, how old is this kid? How old was I? 2010. I was like 14, 15. Oh God. seemed like a century ago, isn't it? Doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's been
that
a while.
feels forever, like forever.
It seems like forever ago, but it really wasn't. Like, once you think about it, it wasn't that long ago. But the older you get, the more you're like, oh my god, shit!
Yeah.
I can't believe high school was like 10 years ago. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, yeah.
Like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing with my life? There's so much wrestling on in the world right now. Do you find yourself keeping up with any of the current products?
I have been keeping up with MLW right now at the moment because MLW is one of the companies I actually really want to hit up. Um, of basically that Myron Reed versus Leo Rush match.
Yep.
Fire, fire, fire. Also, that ACH versus Solomon Topu, I think it was. Yeah, Solomon Topu, fire. Um, basically MLW just has all these people that they're super good at the moment, and I just want to be part of it, basically.
MLW is one of the top promotions in independent wise in my opinion.
Yeah,
There's a lot of I wouldn't even put MLW as a independent promotion though. I would because like people like legitimately get signed to MLW. So once you have a contract, I think like you're like a top notch promotion. But
yeah.
MLW, you always see these MLW guys working everywhere else for all these other shows.
Mhm.
You mentioned some names there. ACH, Myron Reed, Leo Rush. I know he's a champion right now over there. Who are
Yeah.
some other names like independent wise that you have your eyes on?
To face or
Just in general, to
in
face or
general?
like
Ooh.
just a fan of.
Uh, I'm a really big fan of Billy Starks at the moment.
Yeah, oh, dude,
I've
she's killing it.
she's killing it right now. I've seen a lot of her matches actually against Sky Blue. Uh, and she actually just came to my home promotion CSW just this Friday, and yo, they continuously kill it, bro. They continuously kill it. Um, yeah, me and Billy became kind of closer now since I've been meeting her up a lot more. But yeah, dude, she's just killing it out there. Miles, Miles, I had a match with him, bro. That dude is straight fire, straight fire. I would love to work a second match with that man. That man, just straight fire.
Uh, you were
And
talking.
who else?
What was up?
I'm trying to think of somebody else, but my mind just went blank right now.
It's all good. Sky Blue is a fucking workhorse, bro. Sky Blue.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Sky Blue and Billy Starks. Billy Starks,
yep.
dude. Holy shit, man. Oh my god. Like that. She's young. She's young too. And I don't.
Yeah, both of them are
And
young, actually. They're younger than me, and me and the Sky have trained together. Uh, Me and her pushed each other when she first came into the school I went to. Me and her just continuously push each other because I finally met somebody who had the same drive as me during that time because I had the biggest drive in that class in my opinion. I just felt like I had the bigger drive, and when I met somebody with with somebody who wants to compete with me in that drive
that
in
just makes
wrestling,
you want to push more.
we pushed each other more, and we
Right.
just got way better and better and better, and it was amazing. That time was really great.
I know Sky Blue does a lot of work for GCW up in Florida, and I know she consistently kills it there. She like is really making a name for herself out there. But Billy Starks, like I said, holy shit, bro! Like she's
Yeah,
on fire. Like that. Like I said, she's young and she has like such a bright future ahead of her, bro. She keeps pushing, bro. She'll be signing like guarantee she'll be signing like 2 to 3 years, 100%.
yeah, for sure, bro. Those two, I wouldn't even be surprised if they got signed like in a couple years. Would not
Right.
be. I they've been killing it. They have that drive, bro. A lot of people are missing that drive to push themselves even further than their last match. Those two always have that.
Yes.
It's amazing.
That's like the best thing you see in independent wrestling. Like you see these people grow, you see these people start from basically the bottom and work their way up to get signed. It feels good for them, but it also feels good for the people who know who they are. Like, like for the people who follow their careers, for the people who went to their show when, there's 40, 50 people in the stands,
Yeah.
once they get signed, it's all worth it in the long run. What made you want to become a professional wrestler?
Oh, let's see. I watched Rey Mysterio back in like '06, I think. '06 Rey Mysterio. Um, yeah, I was like 7 years old at the time. Uh I went to a family party and they just had SmackDown playing in the background, and I just sat down and watched it because I was bored, and I didn't even know about wrestling till I was like 7, but it just caught my attention. Ever since then, I haven't gone back to like thinking of what to do with my life. I just want to become a wrestler.
A lot of wrestlers I talked to, I interviewed a lot of wrestlers, and they always say they started watching around the same year, which was '06.
Yeah.
Um, '06 was a fire year for WWE. That's when I started
Yep.
watching wrestling. I started watching wrestling when I was like 12. You were 7. I feel old. Holy shit. I started watching WrestleMania 22 was the first ever wrestling show I watched. I remember I got the DVD at Target. I don't know why I got it. My grandma was like, "Why do you want this?" I'm like, "I don't know. John Cena's on the cover."
Yeah,
She's like, "Okay,
just big
whatever."
muscly men are in the cover. That's it. That's all I
Yeah.
know.
And she's like, "Sure, whatever. You can get it." And I remember I got it and I watched it, and I was instantly hooked to Ric Flair, Sheldon Benjamin, you know, um, John Cena, Triple H, Boogeyman, Booker T, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, like that hardcore match in WrestleMania 22 between Edge and Mick Foley. Like
Oh,
just
jeez.
watching it, like my eyes like lit up like crazy. I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. And I remember that this was on a Saturday when I watched WrestleMania 22, and I remember them saying something about Raw every Monday at 9 o'clock on USA during the show. I'm like, I have USA. Bet
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Raw, and I started
Gotta go to
watching
Raw.
Raw. I started watching Raw. It was you know all uphill from there, man. Has there ever been a time though where you stopped watching wrestling, kind of went on like a sabbatical?
Yeah, actually. During the basically around like 20 2010 to 2015, I stopped watching like 5 years.
Wow.
Um, I think that was I missed the summer of punk. Um, People were like telling me, "Oh, you should get back. Oh, did you see WWE? Punk just laid out like a big promo, big like he was talking a lot of smack." And I'm like, okay, whatever. I wasn't a big fan
Right.
of CM Punk, and a lot of people hate me because of that because I'm not a big fan of CM Punk.
That so it's kind of crazy that you say you stopped watching around that time because that's the year I stopped watching too. I stopped watching. I watched from like '06 to '08, '09. And
Mhm.
then I remember like the first day before my freshman year of high school, I was like, I'm not watching wrestling anymore. I don't want to get made fun of. And I shut it off. And I went from like freshman year in
Mhm.
'09 to like December of 2011, my senior year of high school, not watching wrestling and finally getting back into it. So I started watching in 2011, but I missed the summer of CM Punk. Like I watched in 11, but I missed e- everything
Everything.
before
Yeah.
everything before that. So I was introduced to all these new guys. I was introduced to Daniel Bryan, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler. I'm like, who is this, and why is everyone
Yeah.
chanting yes, yes, yes? Like, what?
Yeah.
Who is this? Like, I don't understand why they're going crazy for this guy. Who's this guy that goes woo woo woo? You know it? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what? Like, who is this? Like, what is going on? But yeah, I kind of regret not watching around that time because, like we said, the summer of CM Punk, man, that was a fire time. I
Yeah.
regret not watching it as a fan, but looking back, it was like I was watching it for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
It ignited that fire again for that for to
yeah,
watch.
100%. What really ignited your fire to get back into wrestling?
Um, what's it called? I heard that NXT wasn't the game show anymore, and it was actually throwing out
Right.
wrestling, independent wrestling too. And I was like, like kind of like indie wrestlers going into it, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Let me see what they got. And at that time, Finn, it was Finn Balor who got me back into wrestling. Basically, I saw him physique wise, everything about him, and I was like, that's a star. I'm like, that dude is a draw. There's no way they're not gonna put this championship on him. And they strapped him up, and he carried the company for like almost a year
Yeah,
actually. Yeah, that
100%.
and just basically seeing the drive, his drive, I just felt it through the screen. I'm like, this man can go. Just
Right.
and I want that, and I wanted that. Yeah.
Finn Balor is one of the best wrestlers right now in WWE. It's a shame to see how they were treating him on the main roster, but I'm extremely happy to see him back in NXT because he's killing it. Like,
Yeah, he's killing it right
which
now.
which honestly, are you surprised though? It's Finn Balor. I mean,
Yeah,
it is NXT. They know how to treat Finn Balor right.
exactly.
Random news. I don't know if you heard. Andrade recently got released, and I am
Mhm.
so happy about that. Not happy because he sucked, but happy because finally he could be used somewhere else
Yeah,
properly. Because
yeah,
that man is like one of the best wrestlers on the main roster as well. How
yeah.
could you not treat Andrade right? Like, come on.
Andrade was one of the wrestlers too that I saw a lot of drive in him, but he lost it because of like WWE how they treated him. But
Right.
then you saw a glimpse of that when he became NXT champion
Yep.
again, and then he was like, and then I saw his drive. I was like, yes, yes, Andrade, yes. I was actually a big fan of Andrade when he came into NXT too. I also watched a couple of his stuff as La Sombra when he went against I think Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Fire
Oh
match.
shit.
I
Yeah.
recommend watching that match. That was a fire match. Um, but yeah, I saw him when I saw him going to the main roster. I was like, hopefully, Andrade. They do not mess up Andrade. Please, this man is fire. And
It sucks. We say that for so many wrestlers, bro, from NXT
yeah,
to the main roster. We say that even from the people who are in the indies who get signed.
yeah,
Like right away when you because I know a couple of guys who got signed and girls who got signed to WWE. I'm like, dear Lord, please don't fuck them over. Please, please, please treat them right because they're so much better than what you're thinking. If you're thinking of pushing them to the top, then good. If you're thinking of pushing them to the bottom of the barrel, then not good because
yeah,
we don't want to see that. We want to see
yeah.
them get pushed to the moon. But there's so many wrestlers who you can't push everybody.
Yeah, you can't push
It sucks.
everybody,
And
and that's
especially with
understandable.
Andrade.
Andrade was just so good. I wish that, like, I wasn't expecting him to be pushed to the moon like crazy,
Right.
crazy. I just expected like a mid card title run for a minute. Like him just holding on to like the U.S. belt or Intercontinental belt for like 6 months, min.
Right.
But
Which is nothing wrong with holding. I know you're upset there. You're upset there. Sorry if I broke your heart over there. There's nothing wrong with having the IC or United States title. Like it depends on how you carry it. It depends on how you defend
yeah,
it. In my opinion, the Miz is one of the best intercontinental champions. I have the belt right there, as you can see. Uh, he he um he really made that title prestige in 2016, in my opinion.
yeah,
People who are listening could disagree. I don't care. That's my opinion, and that's the most beautiful thing about opinions. But
yeah,
I think the Miz is like he was a workhorse when he had that IC title, bro. He made that title mean something, and
yup.
it showed. But onto a different topic. Tell us about your training and what really got you started into training.
Basically, at that moment, I like when I graduated high school, I was the only thing I could think of is becoming a wrestler, because that's all I wanted to do since I was a kid. Um, Even during the time where I stopped watching wrestling, I still was like, I really want to become a wrestler. There's For some reason it was just still in the back of my mind. Um, and when I graduated, I was like, this is my shot. This is my time to take that leap to it. And basically, I was telling all my friends, like, hey, I really want to become a wrestler. I'm going to become a wrestler. And they kept on telling me, you're too small, bro. Because at that moment, I was only like 100 pounds soaking wet.
Oh my god.
100 pounds soaking wet. And I graduated high school. High school and 100 pounds soaking. Like, bro, like at that, I was so skinny at that moment. But and then I literally wanted to prove everybody wrong who told me no. So I found a wrestling school and as Chicago Style Wrestling Training Academy, and I met with my trainer Steve Boz. He's been in as a WWE guy, like I think he was a WWE guy back when Test was around, but like as a as enhancement talent. Um, and I basically the first day I got there, I saw all these people like with drive to them, and I'm like, yes, this is what I need. This is literally what I want to be. And I saw a lot of people with drive, and it just, yeah, it just made me become better, way better than I ever expected in so little time. Actually, I think I was I was one of the people that a lot of people wanted to work in the class in less than 6 months. Actually,
Wow, that's
yeah,
good. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Stepping into the ring for the first time must have felt kind of surreal. Taking your first
yeah.
back bump, running the ropes.
When I stepped into that ring, I felt the ropes and everything. I was like, this is real. This is I there's no going back now. I
Right.
can't go back now. I already took that leap. I have to continue going forward. And let me tell you, that first bump, that first bump made you
What was that
rethink
like?
things. But
What was that first bump like?
I didn't bump correctly, so I knocked the wind out of myself, like quick. Like the first bump I took knocked the wind out of me. I was like, bah! And then they told me, hey, do it again, but do it correctly. And they were showing me how to do it correctly. I was like, all right, and I did it. Dude, my bones were rattling. They did not feel it. They were not feeling it at
Right.
all.
How did you take the bump the first time? Like, did you just like fall on your ass, or did you?
Basically, the way they taught me how to bump is have land on my shoulders and like lift up my back a little, like arch my
There you
back and keep my ass off the floor.
go.
But when I first bumped, I didn't arch enough that I hit like my I landed on like my lower back and it just
Yeah.
knocked everything out. And I was like, ugh. Yeah, it was
They're like,
garbage.
how do you? They're like, how do you feel? Oh, I feel terrible. Okay, do it again.
Do it again.
Oh,
They're like, how did that feel? Terrible. And they're like, yeah, of course it did because you did it wrong. Do it again. I'm like, okay.
oh, okay. But after you did it right for the first time, you were like, okay, that felt great. This is where I
That felt
belong.
better. It's like it's the it's not the bumping. It's not the bumping at that moment because you had that adrenaline running. It's the day after where you regret everything in life.
Right. Of course. Like
Yeah,
that's for everybody though. Like when you like
yeah,
do something physical, like football, just intense training like that, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna feel that in the morning. Yep.
yeah,
Here we go. All right, you're already prepared for it. Like you're mentally prepared. You know you're gonna feel that in the morning.
yeah.
How long was your training for? How long did it take you to train?
Um, Basically, I still go to training just because I don't want to lose my I don't want to lose anything that I've already sharpened. Basically, I don't want to become dull, and I don't want to become basically how do I say it? Like I don't want to stay in place. I want to
Of course.
continuously grow and train to sharpen everything that I already know. But basically, a lot of people still do that. I've been training for about 3 years now, actually. 3 years, yeah. And I still go to training. Basically, now I just kind of help the new guys to like
There you go.
learn. I try to like teach them different ways to do things too, from what I've learned and everything. And yeah, it's just a blast trying to like teach new guys because they always something that helps that always makes me want to help people is if they have drive. If they
Right.
have
Of
that
course.
drive, and I can see it in their eyes that that's what they want to do, I want to help them. I want to help them because that reminds me of how I came into wrestling, and that's everything for me.
Yeah, that. It makes it even more better as like a teacher because like, you don't want to teach someone who's
Who doesn't want
dull.
to be there?
Like okay, do a back bump. Okay, what boy. Like
What?
if you
What?
don't get your ass,
Put some more snap into it. What you doing?
exactly. Get your ass out of here, man. I don't got time for this, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, you got to have someone who's like, I want to do this. Like
Yeah.
I'm determined, and that's awesome. Your first wrestling match must have felt kind of nerve wracking and surreal at the same time. What was going through your mind?
So my first wrestling match was basically a battle royal. Basically they just put a whole bunch what they call the Futures Division Battle Royal in my home promotion. So they basically just shoved a whole bunch of the rookies into like as a pre-show, and we had like 5 minutes for the battle royal, and the final 2 or 4 they had an actual match as a pre-show for like 5 minutes or depending on how much time they wanted. But my first battle royal, I basically just went in for like 10 seconds and then got thrown out. So it wasn't like as nerve wracking as I thought it was.
Right.
But it's truly humbling. That's really humbling how like a lot of people don't experience that too much. You're basically in there and then out in 10 seconds. And
A lot of people who like I talk to, they always say their first match was a battle royal. Their first match was a singles match, tag team match. First time, some people say, "Hey, I wrestled my trainer in the first match," which I feel would be pretty cool, and maybe you should do just because like the trainer trained you, and
yeah,
now it's time for the big show. Like, all right, buddy, let's go. You're gonna wrestle me, and let's see what you got. Let's see what you learned. That should be the first match. What do you think? Have you ever wrestled a trainer before?
I actually haven't wrestled my trainer yet. I actually want to. Right now he's actually I think he is the tag team champions with somebody else at the home promotion. And I'm not in the tag team like NCSW. I do tag with the Sky Blue here and there as 105 Live. Shout out to the 105s. But
I love it.
but um, but yeah, basically I haven't had that match yet, but I really want to, just because he always tells I. It's kind of funny because he's kind of hypocritical, but I love it because it's funny. He always tells us, you gotta slow it down. You don't have to do all your spots. You don't have to do all your moves and shit." I'm like, all right, boss, okay. And then I just see his match and he's doing all his spots, all his moves. I'm like, you didn't you just tell me not to do that? And I laugh. And he also tells us not to slap on anything. And yeah, and then he just ends up slapping, and so I give him shit for that.
Not
And
to slap on anything. What the hell? Are you serious? What?
yeah, so like
What?
he doesn't like slapping thighs, like he doesn't like clapping or anything like that, or like yeah, and like so when I slap my thigh, the only thing he likes a thigh slap for is an enziguri. That's it.
But yeah.
That's it.
What?
If you're gonna super kick and you slap your thigh, he's gonna give you shit.
What? What?
Yeah,
I mean, I would think a super kick you should slap your thigh for, but insecurity, come on. I don't think you gotta slap your leg for that. Oh my god.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's crazy.
I found
Wow.
it funny. I always give him shit for that because I see him slap his thigh all the time too, and it's great. It's great.
Uh, After that battle royal, those 10 seconds in there must have felt magical. But how was your first like legitimate
Oh, my first
wrestling match?
legitimate match. Oh, it was actually super surreal. I got to wrestle one of my best friends there actually, Ryan Matthews. That man, he's a big boy. Like he's jacked up, great. Um, me and him worked with each other a couple times. Never like anything serious. We always joked around in training. But that was the one night that me and him decided to go basically fall out and show everybody like, hey, we're the new guys. And that just made me fall in love with wrestling even more because I got to wrestle my best friend and we just had one of the best matches. So yeah, it was great.
And it seems like after that match, your career kind of started taking off a little bit. Taking off a lot more.
Yeah, basically, I started having more matches. I went back to the Futures Division Battle Royal because of what's it called? There were spots that needed to be filled, and I went back to see it to the Futures division for a minute. And what was it? I had another match on. I was one of the final people too, and I had a match there. One of the best matches also that I had when I started. And then everything started picking up when me and Sky started training and traveling a little bit together. She was getting booked everywhere. And I basically just went there with her and basically just basically started talking to people. Met the promoter, basically started talking to the promoter and everything. Started getting booked on some shows because of that. But yeah, it was that at that moment, like when everything was going on with me traveling with Sky and like I started traveling more, it made me feel like an actual indie wrestler. I was like, yeah, this is what it's all about. Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do as an independent wrestler, even if you're not booked on shows. I'm not a wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not hoping I don't say anything wrong, but I'm not a wrestler. But I know as an independent wrestler, the best thing to do to get your name out there is go to shows you're not booked at.
Yeah.
Go help out. Always have your gear, of course. Like that's the number one rule. And just go put your name out there. Introduce yourself to the promoter because you never know. Hey, all right, you're in the battle royal tonight. Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Basically, one of the promotions, what was it? 01. 01 USA. It's one of the promotions I'm in right now, and I love going there. What was it? I just went with Sky one day, and I was talking to the promoter. Promoter heard a little bit about me, nothing crazy or anything. He just knows. The name sounded familiar to him. Probably the Gauge part, because everybody in the Indies have Gauge in their name now. But basically, I talked to him a little. I helped out around the show, and then like next month, I did the same thing. And he's like, "You know what, bro?" He's like, "I'll put you in a tag match. Basically, I'll put you in a tag match. Show me what you got." I went against what was the name? Tanner Keeler and Ezra Sellis. Those two, they helped me out a lot. And my tag partner was Graham Bell. That dude is. I love that dude. That dude is funny as hell in the back. And dude, I love that man. But yeah, it was so surreal that me helping out and like basically what people are telling me to do is actually what's going to happen. Like if you help out, you bring your gear, you start talking to people, creating relationships in the back, you can get there.
Exactly
where you need to go. And I'm like, yes. And
there's
something great.
That's the best thing to do. And there's so much independent promotions out there. Before we end the podcast, man, tell us some promotions that you see or you want to see yourself at in the next 2 to 3 years or after this whole thing is over.
I actually want to go to Paradigm. I've heard about the UWFI rules. Kind of want to try that out. I also I want to go to GCW, the Jersey one, and also the GCW in Florida. Who else? I don't know if PWG is running at the moment, but if they start running again, I really want to go to PWG. Ring of Honor is actually one of them that I really want to go. I want to try that the pure division. I kind of want to go there. It's just it's been killing it right now, and that's what I want to do. So yeah, those are like 5 promotions. Oh, and Future Stars of Wrestling. Those. I want to see Vegas. I just want to see Vegas.
The thing about independent wrestling is taking over the fucking world right now.
Yep.
And there's so much independent wrestling promo. When I ask a wrestler, where do you want to wrestle? They go everywhere because there's a lot. There's not one promotion because there's so much that could really skyrocket your name. Have you ever been up in Northeast?
Northeast, I went to. I don't think so. I think I've been to Tennessee, but that's the farthest I've gone. East.
Okay, you gotta come to Connecticut, bro. We got some bangers up here, bro. We got Connecticut.
I might have to hit up Connecticut sooner or later, bro. I need to go there.
Once this whole pandemic is over, bro, I hope to see you at more shows. I hope to meet you one day because this is our first time talking. Yeah, and thank you so much for coming on the show today. This was a lot of fun.
Dude, it was actually such a blast for me. I was actually kind of nervous coming in. I was like, I don't know what he's gonna ask me. I'm kind of scared. What if I don't know how to respond? But everything just flowed for me, and I was like, it was great.
This conversation, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you again. But where can those nerds find you, man? Drop those plugs one more time.
On Twitter at Sabin Gauge and on Instagram, Sabin_Gauge until I change it. And yeah,
Uh, there you go. All right, nerds. This has been a bonus episode of What's Up Wrestler, a podcast by Nerds of Wrestling. I'm your host, Justin Del Rio. Peace out. Have a wonderful day.
bye guys.